welcome to this informative video about my very interesting Canadian PR journey from India to Canada. Now you must be wondering what is so interesting about my story. Well, I must tell you that my Canadian PR was approved in exactly 40 days from the day I submitted my documents. I was also surprised to see how quickly the things were moving and changing, and I still sometimes wonder whether it was clear, complete and triple checked documents that helped or our dedication and eagerness to move to Canada. Well, whatever the case was, at the end, all the hard work and efforts paid off really well. Before starting today's video, I would like to clarify that whatever I share on this channel are totally my opinion and experiences. I am not any immigration lawyer, agent or consultant, nor did I hire one for my own PR process. So today I'm going to share with you the timelines of my Canada PR and some challenges that we faced as a family. Yes, I applied for Canada's PR, that is permanent residency with my family, that includes my husband and my daughter. Our move was so sudden, unplanned, unexpected that we were asked by many that why we are moving or how we applied for PR. So I thought I should make a video explaining my journey and how it all began. So back in August 2017, we got a chance to apply for US family visa because my sister-in-law lives there, and we thought it would be a great chance for our daughter for her better higher studies. But one thought held us back, and that was 10 to 15 years of wait. And seeing the current scenario of US, we were worried whether even after 10-15 years of wait we'll get the visa or not. So I and my husband were discussing one day that let's file US visa, and meanwhile we can look for some other country which is accepting immigrants and is quicker process than US. So we started researching online on Google. Couple of names were always coming up on top of the list of countries where we could try to immigrate, and they were of course Canada, Australia, New Zealand and UK. Well, then we started educating ourselves more about the immigration process of all these countries, and somewhere we started realizing that Canada is the cheapest, quickest and easiest way to try our luck on. We visited a couple of immigration agents to seek some help, but they were of no use. We realized that all the hard work is to be done by ourselves, like getting your IELTS marks or collecting your documents, getting your transcripts done. So the agents really don't have any role to play. Why to pay all that extra money to any agent when we can save all that money for our future and settlement in a new country? But guys, if you are not confident enough to apply on your own, then you can hire these agents. Just check if they are certified, authorized and registered agents on IRCC's website. I'll put the link in the description box below. So after all this research work, which took us around 1 month, we decided to go with Canada's immigration process, and we dropped the plan for US or Australia or any other country for now. After thorough reading of information available on Canada's immigration website, joining endless Facebook and WhatsApp groups, talking to a couple of people we knew who live in Canada, and watching some YouTube videos, we figured out there are many ways to get Canada's PR, like getting a work permit, which was not very easy, and the other way was to get the student visa, which was very costly for international students, and then PNP programs, which have different job profile requirements which didn't match up with me or my husband's job profile. So we kept all these options as backup. Moreover, study permit and work permit will take a long time for us to finally get the Canada's PR. Our profile perfectly matched Federal Skilled Worker Program, and we applied through Express Entry system. We have already made a video on the list of documents that are required for this program, for which the link will be provided below. This video will clarify all your doubts about the document checklist for this purpose, but I would like to request you that if you have any doubts or need detailed explanation about any step in Canada's immigration process through Express Entry system, then do let me know in comment section below. Express Entry is a point-based system, and the first step is to check your CRS score, which mainly depends on 4 factors, that is your age, education, work experience and English exam. My brother made a video on CRS score as well. I'll put all these links I'm referring to in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. And other than these 4 factors, there are few more categories which can fetch you some extra points, like having a sibling in Canada, having a work permit, knowing French, etc. But none of that worked for us. While applying for Canada's express entry system, if you are married, then one of you have to be primary applicant and the other one will be automatically secondary applicant. In our case, I became the primary applicant because then my age was 28, I had master's degree and 3 years of work experience, and my husband was secondary, and of course our daughter was dependent since she was below 18 years of age. Everything looked perfect, but what we were lacking now was IELTS score. So the minimum score for express entry which can help improving CRS is 8777, and in those days during the end of 2017 the cutoffs were in 440s. So we had fair chance of getting the invitation to apply in first go. Knowing this, we got very excited and jumped into it right away. To start with this process, we needed 2 documents. First one was Educational Credential Assessment, that is ECA, and the other one was IELTS. So to get the ECA report, we need to send our educational documents to one of the designated organizations that are listed on Canada's immigration website, which we have discussed in our previous video about document list. And out of all these organizations, we chose WES, World Education Services. This process was pretty straightforward. I got my transcripts from MDU and packed and sealed them in an envelope along with my degree copies, mailed them to WES for verification and evaluation process. Now WES charges a fee for this process. In this video, I'm not discussing about the cost that is related to the immigration process. I'll make a separate detailed video about that very soon. Now, since we were not fetching any points for my husband's education, so we totally skipped his ECA process, and we could also skip IELTS for him because secondary applicants IELTS and WES doesn't hold much marks, and in our case we already had very high CRS score, so it depends case to case if you actually need secondary applicants IELTS report and WES report. But still he appeared for the IELTS exam, which gave us a small boost in our CRS score, and also it served as an additional document to show the immigration officers that we both can converse in English, because English is one of the 2 official languages of Canada. I got back my WS report in exactly 40 days, and we were so happy to see that my master's was considered as master's according to Canadian equivalency. And on the other hand, I booked my IELTS general exam and I paid for it without studying much, thinking it's general English exam, but unfortunately I didn't get 877 in my first attempt. So right away I booked my second IELTS exam, and this time I was lacking in listening. Well, by now I was a bit demotivated but didn't lose hope and started studying for my third IELTS attempt. I took a long leave from my work and dedicated my full time to IELTS study, and finally in December 2017 I appeared for my third IELTS exam. The third attempt's result came out on 30th December 2017, where I scored CLB 9. Finally, all our efforts paid off and we were all set to create our express entry profile. Here I must tell you that one IELTS attempt takes away approximately 1 month because you book it few weeks in advance and the result comes out after 13 days. So all these days while I was struggling with IELTS exam preparation, I also collected some other documents simultaneously which were required after invitation to apply. The document checklist depends on your profile and the number of applicants. Like in our case, a very important document that took a long time was USA PCC. My husband used to work in US back in 2010, so we had to apply for USA PCC, and that used to take 100 days at that time. Police verification is required from each country that you have lived or stayed for more than 6 months in past 10 years. Also at this point, we started arranging our proof of funds, which should be 6 months old in your bank account. Our 3 other important documents, which were birth certificate, passport and marriage certificate, was all ready and updated. If you have any other additional job or education documents, you can keep them ready at this point. By keeping them ready, I mean you can keep a colored scanned copy of all of them and make the required PDF files. It will definitely save you a lot of time when you are applying for your immigration process. Now, after receiving IELTS result after 13 days and USA PCC after 100 days, we finally created our express entry profile and we were now swimming in the pool with score 463, and we were anxiously waiting for the next draw. Now, since the cutoff those days were in 440, so we were pretty sure that we will get the invitation in next draw. So we also got PCC from India, which was pretty easy. At this time, I was also able to get my job reference letter. My husband's job reference letter was not required, but still we provided that as an additional document. We even got our required photographs clicked at this point. The next draw took place on 24th January 2018 and cutoff went 444 and we got an invitation to apply. So if your CRS cutoff is met, you receive an email to submit all your documents including the medicals in 90 days. So we quickly booked our appointments with the panel physician as soon as possible and got our medicals done. And the medical is also done for the minors, and these reports are not disclosed and are directly sent to the immigration officers. We got 90 days to submit all the documents properly in the required PDF formats for which we were claiming points, and we did that in 1 week. And then what? We paid the fee, which was 2230 Canadian dollars at that time. The fee has definitely gone up since then, and it depends on the number of family members. At this point, you are required to upload only the soft copies of all the documents, but do retain all the hard copies even after landing here. I know this phase after submitting your profile is most overwhelming, but trust me, getting impatient won't help either. Just stay calm, spend time with your family, start winding up your life in your home country, start planning for your landing, for your settlement, and don't forget to check your emails regularly. Now let's have a clear look into our timeline together. On 24th Jan 2018, we got invitation to apply, which is ITA. The cutoff was 444 and our score was 463. On 6th February 2018, we submitted our file and applied for Canada PR, which is called AOR, Acknowledgement of Receipt. On 15th February, we passed our medical exams. On 19th February, our background check was complete and we saw a note saying no additional document request and no biometrics or interview needed at this point. And we saw this update on our express entry profile. On 27th February, another background check was done, and on March 16, we got our passport request. So on 16th March early morning, we got this great golden email that said our file was approved and we had to submit our passports to get the visa stamped. The very same day, we went to submit our passports at VFS Global in Connaught Place in Delhi, along with our pictures that would go on our COPR, that is confirmation of PR document, and on PR card. So passports were submitted, we resigned our jobs right away and started checking out deals on one-way air ticket to Canada. We booked our tickets for 1st May 2018. So when you go to pick up your passport, you also get COPR, which is confirmation of PR. That is also called the landing paper, which is required at the time when you land here in Canada. There are two reasons why we were so happy about our visa timings and booked our tickets for very early date. The first one was because it was summertime in Canada and it is easy to settle. And the second one was that our daughter just finished her academic session in India and she would continue with the next session in Canada, so there weren't any gaps in between. As you know, April is the time to pay a huge amount of fee in Delhi schools, so we saved that as well. In fact, when we applied for her withdrawal from her school, we even got some security deposit back. Just look at this. 22 September 2017, we had sent documents for ECA and our first step for Canadian PR. And 1st May 2018, we landed in Canada with PR in our hand. So in total, not even 7.5 months in whole. तो celebration तो बनता ही था. So guys, before ending today's video, I just quickly want to say that maybe our file got approved because of very clear and complete documents. So instead of panicking around, you should double check your documents and do keep in mind that each case is different. Every file takes different processing times. I know we reach that point of impatience while waiting for all these background checks to be done, but trust me, if your file is complete, there are no errors or mistakes, and the luck is in your favor, then you will definitely get your PR in less than 6 months according to CIC's website. But currently, due to COVID situation, there might be some backlog. If you are planning to move to Canada and are applying through Express Entry and you found this video worthy enough, then do give it a like and also show some love by subscribing to this channel and hitting that red bell icon. Good luck for your Canadian PR journey. Until then, bye-bye.